What if your greatest threat isn't the one who hates you, but the one who smiles beside you? Muse were taught to fear enemies, to keep an eye on outsiders, to watch the front lines for attacks. But Machiavelli knew better. The real danger comes dressed as a friend. It urged the colleague who applauds your brilliance, then whispers doubt the moment you get gone. It such the friend who cheers your success until it casts a shadow over their own. Machiavelli once wrote, "He who causes another to become powerful ruins himself." He wasn't said being cruel. He was being honest. Loyalty in the real world is often a mask, a role played, a performance rehearsed until it no longer benefits the actor. So today, we strip the mask. We enter the ruthless mind of Machiavelli to detect, diffuse, and dominate the fake friends, the backroom schemers, the smiling threats who could destroy you if you stay naive. This isn't set a guide for the soft-hearted. This is survival for those who plan to rule. Welcome to Machiavelli Mind Tactics. We all want to believe in loyalty, that shared memories, personal bonds, moral values will hold people close. But Machiavelli didn't believe in fairy tales. In The Prince, he said it outright. Men are ungrateful, fickle, liars, and deceivers. They shun danger and are greedy for gain. To him, loyalty wasn't a virtue. It was a transaction, useful until it wasn't set. People don't stand beside you because they believe in your vision. They stand there because they gain from it. And when the gains stop, so do they. Historical example, Cesare Borgia. Let's step into the life of one of Machiavelli's favorites, Cesare Borgia. Powerful, charismatic, feared. At his peak, Borgia was surrounded by noblemen, generals, even priests, all claiming to be loyal. But Borgia knew better. He didn't trust them. He used them. He gave power to those who were useful. And when they became a threat, he removed them. Take Ramiro de Lorca, a brutal commander Borgia appointed to crush rebellion in Romagna. Ramiro got the job done. He silenced opposition with ruthless force. But as fear of him grew, so did hatred. So Borgia did something brilliant and brutal. He had Ramiro executed publicly, dismembered body displayed in the town square. The message was clear: serve me, but never outshine me. It wasn't just punishment. It was a lesson, a Machiavellian warning to every so-called ally. You are useful, not untouchable. His body was displayed in the town square. Machiavelli admired this, not the cruelty, but the clarity. Borgia understood. Loyalty is temporary, power is permanent. A wise prince must rely on what he controls, not on what others promise. Modern mirror, the corporate climb. Fast forward to today. Think about your office, your career. How many people congratulated your promotion, but secretly felt threatened by it? How many teammates offer help, only when it doesn't cost them anything? In high-stakes environments, loyalty often lasts only as long as the ladder is beneath them. Once you're no longer a step up, you become a threat, or worse, an obstacle. That's why Machiavellian strategy demands you stop expecting loyalty and start measuring self-interest. Ask not, who likes me? Ask, who needs me? And more importantly, who gains if I fall? Psychological angle, cognitive dissonance. Here, that's where it gets deeper. People will betray you while still believing they're loyal. How? Because when ambition clashes with attachment, the mind twists reality. I didn't betray her. I just did what I had to. He left me no choice. I had to protect myself. That is the rationalization of a fake friend. You won't hear it until after the knife is already in your back. Key insight: loyalty must be earned again and again. So, what do? Stop assuming loyalty is permanent. Start watching for shifts in interest, power, and status. If someone's incentive changes, their loyalty soon will too. Reward reliability, not affection. Those who show up, deliver results, and take hits for you, they're valuable. But always verify, because as Machiavelli reminds us, the promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. There is Stern's old saying, better the devil you know than the devil you don't set. But Machiavelli would sharpen that even further. Better the enemy you can see than the friend who hides a knife. Enemies are obvious. They challenge you openly. You prepare, defend, counterattack. But fake friends? They shake your hand with one and poison you with the other. Machiavelli, ever the realist, warned rulers not to fear open hostility as much as they should fear false loyalty. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot protect himself from wolves, so one must be a fox to recognize traps. Fake friends are traps. They embed themselves inside your trust. They learn your weaknesses, study your ambitions, gain access to your plans. Then when the moment is right, they betray you in a way that's devastating, because you never saw it coming. Case study: Julius Caesar and Brutus. One of the most legendary betrayals in history is also the most personal. Julius Caesar didn't die in battle. He didn't set fall to foreign invaders. He was stabbed by his own Senate, led by Brutus, someone he trusted like a son. To Brute, even you, Brutus. That wasn't set a cry of pain. It was a scream of psychological shock. The moment Caesar realized the mask of friendship had been a lie all along. Brutus posed as an ally to stay close. He smiled in Caesar's shadow, and when power shifted, he joined the knives. This is the danger of fake friends. They use your trust as a weapon. Workplace parallel, subtle sabotage. In modern offices, betrayal doesn't come with daggers. It comes with whispers. Your friend leaks your ideas to others. They tell the boss you're struggling, just to plant seeds of doubt. They align with you when you start rising, but quietly disappear when you start falling. These are the Brutus types of today. They don't wear togas. They wear suits. They smile and say, "Let me know if I can help." The strategic response. So, how do you deal with them? Don't yes. Get emotional. Get analytical. Machiavelli would never act on feelings, only on facts and patterns. Watch for inconsistencies between what they say and what they do. Test loyalty in small ways. Give them controlled information. See if it leaks. Ask for support when there's no reward. Watch their reaction. Maintain optionality. Never let one person become the sole gatekeeper to your reputation, strategy, or success. Because remember, an open enemy wounds the body, a fake friend wounds the mind, and a Machiavellian knows, one cut you can bandage, the other can ruin your reign. Before betrayal ever occurs, the signs are always there, but most people ignore them. Why? Because they want to believe the illusion. They confuse charm with character, attention with alliance, Machiavelli didn't make that mistake. He understood. Every fake friend reveals themselves, if you're observant enough. How to recognize a pretender. Sign 1. Over flattery. Beware the colleague who praises everything you do, especially in public. Men are so simple and so inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims. Machiavelli knew that those who flatter constantly are usually hiding something. Their goal isn't to lift you up, it's to lower your defenses. In modern workplaces, this sounds like, no one could handle that better than you. You sir, the smartest person here. We so lucky to have you. Honestly, if it feels too sweet to be sincere, it probably isn't. Sign 2. Fake support. Quiet absence. A fake friend is present for the celebration, but absent for the crisis. They show up when you're winning, but fade when you're attacked or struggling. Ask yourself, who speaks up when I'm being criticized? Who disappears when I need backing? A Machiavellian doesn't confuse presence with partnership. They observe who only supports you when it's easy. Sign 3. Passive sabotage. The two-faced colleague rarely attacks directly. They operate through plausible deniability, the art of betrayal without fingerprints. Examples. I think she sits great, but some people are saying she sits not ready for that role. He sits really talented, though he sits been under a lot of stress lately. This is how they inject doubt while pretending to defend you. Machiavelli would spot this instantly. These are people who aim to undermine your position while maintaining the illusion of loyalty. Sign 4. Shifting energy. When you succeed, watch how they react to your good news. Do they celebrate genuinely or with a forced smile? Do they echo your excitement or change the topic? Do they share your win or subtly find ways to outshine you? And a true Machiavellian knows, envy among friends is more dangerous than hate among enemies. Jealousy is the seed of betrayal. Notice their behavior when you gain influence, attention, or advantage. Machiavellian method. Hidden enemy triggers. Watch how they act when you're not useful to them. Stress reveals the mask. Ambition exposes the true face. Observe what they do under pressure. Fake friends become tense when they realize you no longer need them. In corporate settings, middle managers often play both sides. Real-world application. The middle manager trap. To senior leadership, they praise you. To peers, they whisper doubts. They don't want you fired, just neutralized. They fear you, so rise past them. So they work in shadows, using words as weapons. Machiavelli would never confront them directly. He said observe, document. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him and prepare his counter before they ever knew they'd been exposed. Lesson from the prince. In your life, the same applies. Once you've identified potential traitors, you don't need to confront them directly. Your power is tied to the quality and loyalty of those closest to you. Machiavelli rarely recommended open conflict unless it was absolutely necessary. Instead, he taught rulers to use strategic distance, control through detachment. In other words, a prince must be wise enough to know how to draw profit from the faithless. You don't need to cut them out. You just need to keep them close enough to watch, but far enough to prevent damage. The psychological power of distance. Heuristes, the hidden power. When you pull back from someone who thrives on access, they become unstable. Fake friends rely on proximity to gather intel, stay relevant, or manipulate. When you reduce access, you force them into uncertainty. You limit their influence. You regain control of your image and your plans. Distance becomes both armor and leverage. Historical example: Louis V of France. Machiavelli admired Louis XI, King of France, for this exact tactic. Louis surrounded himself with ambitious nobles, but never let any one man become too close. He divided power, placed informants in every camp, and rotated influence like a chess master. As a result, no ally became powerful enough to betray him effectively. Distance wasn't coldness, it was strategic survival, corporate application, controlled access. In today's business world, the Machiavellian playbook translates to two key things: information control and emotional boundaries. Let's say you suspect a colleague is quietly undermining you. Do you accuse them? No. That creates noise, conflict, and makes you look insecure. Instead, stop sharing sensitive information. They can sit, weaponize what they don't sit, know. Redirect conversations. Stay polite, but vague. Loop them out of your core decision-making. They lose influence and don't even realize it until it's too late. You don't unfriend them. You unplug them quietly. Power play. Never give total access. Machiavelli would argue no one, not even your closest ally, should have full access to your thoughts, intentions, or strategies. He understood a simple truth: the more people know your mind, the easier you are to manipulate. Distance isn't just about removing threats. It's about preserving mystery, leverage, and control. Key takeaway: strategic distance lets you observe without being entangled. Maintain respect while eliminating risk. Keep power centralized where it belongs, with you. Because in the Machiavellian playbook, friendship may fluctuate, but dominance must remain steady. Strike first, the principle of preemptive power. Machiavelli did not believe in waiting to be stabbed. He believed in striking first, not out of paranoia, but out of calculated necessity. Injuries must be inflicted all at once, so that there is no savor in them. The prince. This isn't set about revenge. It's about removing threats before they metastasize. A fake friend, once exposed, doesn't just pose a personal risk. They can poison your reputation, steal your opportunities, reshape perceptions around you before you ever get a chance to respond. What does it mean to strike first? Machiavelli's way. Principle: prevention is power. Once you detect a pattern of deceit, act swiftly, silently, and surgically. This could mean cutting off their access to critical information, excluding them from strategic meetings, replacing them in collaborative projects, publicly reframing your alliance with them, and if escalation is required, expose them indirectly, leak subtle truths. Let others see the double game without you ever appearing petty. The goal isn't destruction. The goal is containment and dominance. Historical lesson: Cesare Borgia. Cis, ruthless, precision. Let's return to Cesare Borgia, Machiavelli's case study in preemptive power. When he conquered Romagna, he appointed commanders to secure the region. But once their usefulness declined and their ambition rose, he eliminated them before they could turn. His most infamous move: the execution of Ramiro de Lorca, a brutal enforcer. Why? Because Machiavelli observed, violence used to gain power must be followed by violence to consolidate it. Borgia understood, delay gives your enemies time to organize. Speed crushes their momentum. corporate reflection, the silent pivot. Now imagine you discover your office. Ollie has been leaking your plans. They haven't sabotaged you openly, but the signs are there. A Machiavellian wouldn't set confront them. He would pivot quietly, feed them outdated or decoy information, then observe what leaks and to whom. Meanwhile, realign with more influential allies. By the time your betrayer realizes what's happened, it's too late. They've been outmaneuvered. You have moved 3 steps ahead. Psychological layer. Anticipation kills threats. Most people wait for proof before acting. But Machiavelli warns, a wise man does at once what a fool does at last. Fake friends test your boundaries. Let a small betrayal slide, and they'll escalate. The preemptive move is not impulsive, it is planned. You don't react emotionally, you respond tactically with precision. Key takeaway: don't wait to be betrayed to protect yourself. By then, it is too late. Strike early, strike smart, and do it in a way that preserves your reputation while undermining theirs. Redefining loyalty, utility over attachment. In Machiavelli's world, it's not about looking good. It is about staying powerful. If you want to survive betrayal, stop building alliances based on emotion. Machiavelli didn't believe in sentimental loyalty, and neither should you. Not if power and stability matter more than comfort. He was explicit. A prince must not have any other object, nor any other thought, but war, its institutions and discipline. Substitute war for power management, and the message is clear. Your network should be strategic, not emotional. Loyalty must be based on utility, not attachment. In Machiavellian terms, loyalty isn't about love, it's about mutual interest. The people you trust most should benefit from your success, rely on your influence, and have something to lose if they betray you. If they're emotionally loyal but have nothing to lose by hurting you, that's a liability. If they're emotionally cold but deeply invested in your success, that's an asset. The Machiavellian redefines friendship as an alliance of purpose. Test the useful ally versus the emotional anchor. Ask yourself about each person close to you. Do they bring me leverage? Do they offer access, credibility, skills, or intelligence? Are they committed to outcomes, not just emotional validation? If the answer is no, then you're keeping an emotional anchor in your boat, and when the waters get rough, they'll pull you under. Donime, historical model, Cardinal Richelieu. Take Cardinal Richelieu, the infamous power behind the French throne. He built a court of advisors, informants, and envoys, not based on friendship, but function. Each person had a clear role. Each alliance was transactional. If someone failed to serve the state or threatened his dominance, they were replaced without ceremony. Cold? Yes.
Effective? Absolutely.
That's how Richelieu maintained power behind the scenes for over 2 decades in a court full of vipers. Business translation, strategic partnerships. This thinking applies directly to modern leadership. Choose co-founders who balance your skill set, not just ones you like. Align with mentors who elevate your credibility. Hire not for culture fit, but for calculated contribution. Machiavelli would never hire a friend unless that friend brought value to the battlefield. Emotional control is key. Let's be clear. This doesn't mean becoming heartless. It means being strategic about where your heart lives. Have real friends outside your realm of power, but inside the arena, choose those whose interests align with yours. whose survival depends on your rise. That's how you build a circle that protects you, instead of one that disappoints you. Key takeaway. A Machiavellian doesn't ask, do they like me? He asks, do they need me? And do I need them for something that matters? Affection fades, leverage endures. Arsalan Machiavelli, secret weapon. Control the information. Power doesn't come from strength alone. It comes from secrecy. It is not essential that a prince should have all good qualities. It is essential that he should seem to have them. The prince, people don't need to know the truth. They need to see what benefits you. The power of mystery. A fake friend or double-dealing colleague is powerless without access. They need your plans, weaknesses, dilemmas, hopes, fears. Without this knowledge, they can't predict your next move, undermine your decisions, or weaponize your doubts. That's why Machiavellians never reveal their full intentions. They speak in half-truths. They show calculated emotions. They guard their strategic opacity like a crown. Historical parable, Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon, arguably one of the greatest military minds, was a master of misinformation. Before the Battle of Austerlitz, he pretended weakness to lure enemies into a trap. The result, a decisive victory, not from brute force, but intelligent deception. Practical application, strategic disinformation. In your life, this means don't overshare dreams with colleagues. They may not be cheering. Don't explain every move. People can only block what they understand. Use selective disclosure. Give different people different parts of the puzzle, so no one sees the full picture but you. You become unpredictable, and in the power game, unpredictability is both shield and sword. Psychological power move, silence as control. A rarely used but powerful Machiavellian tactic. When they expect an answer, stay silent. When they ask for details, give only direction. When they seek clarity, provide curiosity. People hate uncertainty. In their discomfort, they reveal more than they should. A ruler who speaks too much invites rebellion. A leader who reveals too little commands fear and fascination. Your betrayal is inevitable, but for the Machiavellian, it's an opportunity. Because once someone shows you who they are, you don't have to guess anymore. You are in control. Machiavelli didn't waste time crying over betrayal. He focused on turning pain into power. A wise man ought always to follow the paths beaten by great men. The prince. Great men don't crumble under betrayal. They capitalize on it. Now Zalonla, step 1. Control the narrative. When betrayed, don't react emotionally. Respond strategically. Stay calm. Say less. Quietly reshape the story. Let the truth leak to the right people. You stay composed. They look exposed, and you come out appearing calculated, not chaotic. Historical example, Steve Jobs. In 1985, Steve Jobs was betrayed by his board and ousted from Apple, the company he founded. Many would disappear. Jobs didn't set. He built next. He built Pixar, and when Apple stumbled, they begged him back. But he didn't set return as an employee. He returned as the savior. The espit's not revenge. That sets strategic dominance. Step 2. Extract intel. When betrayal strikes, people talk too much. That's your chance. Ask, who benefited from this? Who stood to gain? Who rose as I fell? These answers reveal true loyalties and hidden enemies. Tharnes Sebo 3. Punish selectively. Machiavelli didn't suggest forgiveness, nor blind fury. If you do injuries, do them all at once. If you bestow benefits, do them little by little. Punish with purpose. Make an example of one to warn the others. Never overreact. Emotional outbursts give enemies ammunition. Strategic retaliation makes everyone think twice before crossing you. Key takeaway. Betrayal isn't just an attack. It's a mirror. It shows who's real. It shows where you were weak. It hands you a weapon if you know how to wield it. The Machiavellian doesn't fear betrayal. He turns it into leverage. Final reflection. You have seen the signs. You have studied the tactics. You now understand that not everyone beside you is with you. The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. People will support you until they no longer benefit. They will applaud until your light outshines theirs. They will swear loyalty until ambition whispers otherwise. Clarity is power. Trust what it's proven, not what it's promised. Measure loyalty by incentives, not words. Stay calm in betrayal and use it to your advantage. Build alliances on utility, not emotion. And above all, never reveal your full game. Machiavelli's greatest gift wasn't cruelty, it was understanding. Understanding that survival and dominance require one thing above all: discernment. Not everyone deserves access. Not every friend is real. Not every betrayal is defeat. Those who last are not the most loved, but the most prepared. Ready for the next level. If this changed how you see people, if you're thinking like a strategist, not a sentimentalist, it's time to act. Subscribe to Machiavelli Mind Tactics, where we study the brutal truths of power, psychology, and survival. Comment below. What's the boldest insight you'll apply starting today? Cutting someone off, protecting your plans, building your circle differently. Let's us build a community of thinkers, not victims. In a world full of masks, the Machiavellian doesn't trust the face. He watches the hands and controls the game.